If you have a glow shift wideband sensor, or really any other brand that allows you to data log, it will come with a controller just like this one, and it has an output for analog output, and the gauge will be supplied with basically the USB that plugs right into here. The only thing you have to do if you're using SCT is get a SCT analog input wire, and I'll show you what that looks like. When you purchase your SCT analog input wire, this is what it should come with. It'll come with the USB itself, where you can essentially you're gonna solder or crimp, whichever method you prefer, the analog output USB wire from the controller to the SCT wire, and that's basically gonna create that connection to your X4 or X3, depending on what you have. And once you connect that to your laptop, you'll be able to data log your AFR, your Lambda, and I'll show you how to set that up as well. Okay, so the SCT X4 input signal wire, this is where it's gonna go. Your OBD2 OBD2 cable is gonna hook up to this here, and now basically you have this diagram. You gotta figure out which one you have, and it's easy. You basically have the 6P analog. The reason for that is because obviously you're gonna tell right away the USB part of it looks way different, and all that means is that if you have the 10P, you're able to data log multiple devices. This will go up to 6. This one only has 2. So basically I'm gonna wire the wideband, and then later in the future, if I get some other gauge that allows me to data log, then I'm gonna have to solder it to this end here and make that connection. Now I'm going to be using analog 1. You can use 2 if you like, but just for simplicity purposes, I'm gonna stick with the 1 channel for now. And it's telling me that I need the orange wire for the signal and the blue wire for the ground. So I got those picked out. And of course, this is coming from the SCT input signal wire. And then from the wire that hooks up to your controller from the gauge, you're gonna have 2. The black is gonna be the ground, and then whatever other color you have is gonna be the signal wire. And you basically hook them both up. So in this case, analog 1 is ground, that'll be blue, so blue and the black wire will go together, and then orange and the other color wire will be the signal, so both of those will go together. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now that you've made your connection, again, these are for other analogs, so one other gauge that you might want to log. So this is not going to be used. So these are the 2 wires that I soldered, and yes, I could have done a much better job, but I just want to make sure that it actually worked, which it does. And so here's the setup. Hooked it up to the controller there. There's the soldered orange wire, which is the analog signal wire, and then the blue one, which ended up being the ground. Then that hooks up to top of the SCT X4, and this right here is my OBD2 wire, so that's hooked up right now. And this right here hooks up to my laptop. Basically now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the X4 to start reading the air fuel ratio. All right, now with either the car on or the key on, basically you want to get to this menu on the X4. You're going to go to gauges and data log, and follow the directions on there. I'm going to leave my car running, so I'm going to hit continue.
already have it set up with my AFR, but you're not gonna have this, so it doesn't matter what you click on. So here I'm gonna set it up in a different section. So for example, this right here is not showing anything right now, so I'm gonna set this up to show AFR as well. So I'm gonna click on that. Now I'm gonna click on item. So basically you're gonna select out of all these loggable items what it is that you're looking to log. So I'm gonna go all the way to the bottom. You're gonna see analog input 7 and 8. You want the orange wire. So I'm gonna select that. Then the next one is gonna be equation. LM1 is what you want. I think out of stock, I think it has something weird selected, something else. So you're gonna want to scroll down until you find LM1, check it. So it's already there, so that's the correct equation. Now I'm gonna go ahead and approve it. And now check it out, now I have a gauge here. So to recap, you're not gonna have your AFR gauge showing, you're gonna have something else up here. I think it could be RPM, or I can't remember exactly the stock gauge is up there. But basically you can select any of them, and basically follow the process I just showed you, and you're gonna have basically your AFR here. So now the next step is gonna be to set up your lifelink to be able to start data logging your AFR along with everything else that you'd like to data log, and I'll show you that as well. All right, so let's go ahead and open lifelink. So you can start with I want to data log a vehicle, and basically it'll walk you through the steps of how to hook up the X4 and the OBD2 and everything. You can also create a data log configuration file, and basically what this allows you to do is to actually save a file that you can open every single time you want to data log your car without having to go through and pick what you want to data log all over again through the hundreds of PIDs and other options that you have. So I would start here. I would say I want to create a data log configuration file, and then go in that direction. But since I already have one, I'm just gonna go ahead and load that file, and I'll show you what that looks like. So every time I log on and I load that configuration file, all of these come on. And this is I've decided that these are only the PIDs that I'll need to tune the car with what I'm doing. The only thing I don't have on here is my AFR, so I gotta add that. Now before I do, I'm gonna go to Tools, Equations, and analog 8 is the orange wire. So really all you need is that equation there, and this is where you get it from. Right on the right side of that you have LM1, which is the same one that we selected on the X4 handheld. So you're going to select that, and essentially you're going to tap the arrow that you want that equation to go into. So in this case, only analog 8. So I really don't need this one. I'm going to delete that. I'm just going to leave that this way for analog 8. And then let's see here, go back to home, recheck COM. All right. Vehicle info. Selected items. And it's gonna have all of these crazy options, right? What we care about is getting to the analog. So I'm gonna collapse that, and then it'll bring up the analog. So what we care about is the orange wire. So the orange wire is gonna be what's gonna give us that signal that we just set up. Select that. Now once you have that selected, you're gonna go to configure data log. And now it's gonna have it here. And then obviously you're gonna have to go through and add all the items that you want to data log, and you want to save it. So this is a configuration file. You want to go ahead and save the configuration and name it whatever it is that you like. So now whenever you're gonna want to data log, just load that file every single time, and then it's gonna have all of the items that you want to log on here. Alright, so now I just opened up my own file, and I went through and made sure that I have everything I needed. So analog, orange wire is at the top, moment of truth. When you're ready to start data logging, hit that button, and then we should start seeing some magic happen here. There it is. There's your AFR. There's my wideband. There's a little bit of a lag because this is real time, and then that information of course needs to translate over, but that's spot on. So I'm gonna deselect all of that. Oh, okay, continue. Actually, I should have deselected these prior to start the data log. That's probably why I'm getting all these errors. There it is. Here's my AFR. There's actual and average. I hope this was helpful, and happy tuning.